Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show CIF Championship Final Edition. Orange County, Steve, well represented. 8 CIF teams have advanced to the final game coming up on Friday and Saturday. The big question is, can Orange County go 8 for 8? How many titles will Orange County bring home? Will it be 8? Will it be a number smaller than that? What do you think?
Good chance for 8, but I think that's asking a lot. 8 for 8. Goodness, I don't think Rod Carew ever went 8 for 8. So I don't. So it's possible. I mean, all these teams are really good and playing their best football right now, which is the best time of year to be playing your best football.
Exactly. Yeah, 8 for 8 in the Cal Preps era of the the competitive equity. These evenly matched games is probably asking too much, but we'll see how they do. They should be some really fantastic games. So let's get right into it and start to give our predictions and our previews of these games. So you got to start Division One. We'll start with the Friday games coming up at the Rose Bowl. Number 1 team in the country, Mater Dei, undefeated, 12-0, taking on number 2 ranked St. John Bosco, 11-1. So Mater Dei won the league game in the Trinity League, and now here they are hooking up again at the Rose Bowl. I saw the Monarchs play last week in the semifinals, 52-0 against Los Alamitos. I was pretty surprised by that. Monarchs playing really well defensively, loaded with that speed at running back. I think their passing game looked a little out of sync, but they got the defense, they got the running game. Are they going to be too much for the Braves in this rivalry that shifts to Pasadena?
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected Mater Dei and St. John Bosco to get to the finals in Division One, Dan. I think that's a huge upset. We need to acknowledge that right here. I think Mater Dei is just playing really just too good right now, and the additional motive, just the talent is enough. With the additional motivation of win it for Rollo, win it for Coach Bruce Rollinson, who's decided that this is going to be his final year. That's been his announcement. And I think they're just too fired up. They're too good all over the place. The only place that they're not excellent, but they're good enough, is the kicking game. But they're great everywhere. I mean, they may not have to punt it much or kick field goals or anything like that, but that group is beyond competent. I just see them as being just too good and too determined, too focused, too business-like, all those things.
Yeah, well, I think Bosco will force Bosco's defense is really good. They'll force some punts. They'll get off the field, the Braves. But
yeah,
this will come down to, I think, in this rivalry has been a lot about recently it's been about turnovers and who can strike there and make the key plays. So I really like the way Mater Dei's defense is looking. They just seem to be getting more confident, faster, but they have to win those battles. They got to, deal with the run game. They got to make plays in the secondary. But I think in their pressure and containment with Pierce Clarkson, of course, he was injured in the first game, didn't play the second half of that game. So, but I'm also picking the Monarchs. They seem to be peaking. The only thing I wonder about, you kind of wonder about, did they peak too early last week and score, use their 52 points and score in all 3 phases? Did they leave anything left for the finals against Bosco? So, or if there's something else, emotional letdown, but I think they're going to be pretty primed, play well. Let's move to Division 3, Friar. This is a really good game. You just saw Yorba, 13-0, playing at Upland in the Division 3 final on Friday. Upland's 9-4, played a pretty tough schedule. They're out of the baseline league. Played a team from Arizona as well in their non-league, but I'm picking the Mustangs in this one. I think that they are on a roll. Man, I was really impressed what they did against Corona Del Mar in the semifinals, and and Coach Bailey, just got those guys playing really well.
I was at that game, covered that game for us, 51-20. One of the reasons I went to that game, I thought it was going to be the most competitively balanced game on the chart. It was not. Yorba from the very beginning started, getting really physical and doing what they wanted to do, and they just continued through 4 quarters. almost a perfect game for Yorba Linda. Really as close to perfect game as you're going to see a high school football team play. I just see them just being on a roll and just so intense and good at all areas of the game. You know, Upland's pretty good. They beat a pretty good Orange County team, Tesoro, by a point in the first round. They got a late field goal after a turnover. And in the non-league games, Upland beat Villa Park and La Havre, a couple other county top 20, 25 teams in there. Lost to Orange Lutheran 24-7. Pretty balanced offense over there at Upland. But I think if Yorba Linda, if they played like they played last week, they're going to win.
Okay. And I know you love your trivia. Quick trivia question with Coach Bailey. He is one of 5 Orange County coaches to win CIF championships at multiple schools. Who are the other 4, Mr. Fryer, in that exclusive 5-coach club?
Bob Johnson.
Correct.
Harry Welsh.
Correct.
Dave Holland.
I don't believe so.
Corona del Mar and Laguna Beach, maybe.
No, yeah, won't be for Laguna Beach. No.
Boy, oh boy. You got me, man. Give me some hints.
Okay, the other 2 are, of course, Mike Milner of Fountain Valley and El Toro.
And El Toro. Yeah.
And then, of course, the legendary Fred De Palma of Savannah and Catella. That's the kind of company that Coach Bailey has already done with, because he's already won with Yorba Linda and El Dorado. Yeah. I always love that trivia question because it's a pretty rare group. All right, Division 4. This is a really good game, I think, huh? Cypress playing host to Downey. This game will be at Western High School on Friday night. You got 11-2 Downey, 13-0 Cypress. You got the battle of the quarterbacks, Aiden Houston and Aiden Childs of Downey, who's committed to Oregon State. He's the Beavers' number 2 rated recruit out of this would be class of 2023. Really good quarterback, former Los Al quarterback, just like Aiden Houston is a former Los Al guy. But Cypress kind of has that feel of team of destiny. They've won all these close games in the playoffs, and they played a championship game just a few years ago as an undefeated team at home at Western and lost against Temecula Valley. I think the Centurions get this one this year. What do you say, Mr. Fryer?
Yeah, I've liked Cypress from the start, and I think maybe the first time I saw him play was against San Juan Hills, perhaps. And I thought this, they've had some very talented groups, but this is the most physical group I've seen them have. Their physicality is just really great. The way they fly to the ball on defense is spectacular. I'm a big Aiden Houston guy. He can do it both ways. But winning those close games, kind of makes me think about it a little bit, but I'm still going to go with the Centurions and Cypress.
Yeah, I think Downey's won some close games as well. I think they've had close games in the playoffs against Camarillo and Cathedral. Hey, that's what's supposed to happen in the Cal Preps era. They're supposed to be close games, and you got to somehow find a way through. And Cypress has kicked a winning field goal and 2-point conversions. All kinds of dramatic things the last couple of weeks. That's going to be a good game. I imagine it's going to be a close game, that D4. So also sticking on Friday night, Division 6, San Jacinto, 11-2, the number 10 seed in Division 6, playing at number 8 seed Orange at El Medina on Friday night. The Panthers have been really a turnaround type season for them. They came out of the blocks 2-3, lost to Villa Park and Yorba Linda, and didn't look too good, but they found a quarterback in Hype Grand. They found another some running back help for Kobe Boykin with Ardon Morris, and their offensive line is welcome back a lineman back from injury. They're playing good in the secondary, and San Jacinto scored a lot of points. I remember them because in the playoffs they beat Trabuco Hills 57-51. That was a amazing first round game. Who do you like in this one?
The way Orange is playing, 11 wins in a row, I think they make it 12 in a row. Like you said, they really hit their stride pretty good. San Jacinto is going to be kind of tough for them for their defense. They're a pretty balanced group over there. You got a running back named Malachi Brown has rushed for more than 1,000 yards. They got a quarterback, Darian Dortch, He's averaging 200 passing yards a game. Pretty balanced offense. That's always troublesome. But Orange being at home over at Fred Kelly, yeah, I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah. You look at those numbers that they're putting up on the ground attack. That is some impressive stuff. When you have Kobe Boykin and Morris that can run for over 100 yards themselves, and then you throw in the dual threat quarterback, they've been throwing up 300 yards rushing a game in some of these recent games. Real impressive stuff on the ground attack. And of course, what's Coach Pedroza saying about Ardon Morris is that he gets stronger as the game goes on. He's over, as a 210-pound running back linebacker. That's some, physical running by him. So one more
game. And isn't that the best name in high school football is Hype Grand? Is there a name even close to that, Dan, that we have in OC? I don't think so.
That is quite the name. And
beautiful.
And he's getting some recruiting interest, and looks like he's found a home at Orange. He's been a little well-traveled, but I think he's settling in. It seems like with some pretty good chemistry, I think, developing there at Orange. Last game on Friday is out in Division 14 at Whittier College. You got the Whittier Christian Heralds, number 8 seed in Division 14, taking on Lynnwood, the number 10 seed. Both teams are 9-4, and this is the Heralds who've as far as from the Orange County perspective, kind of come out of nowhere under Coach Frank Marquez, former Yorba Linda assistant, also coaches baseball. Done a pretty good job there with baseball at Whittier Christian. Got to the quarterfinals there. Now they're in their finals, trying to win their first CIF title since 1990. So you got this interesting coach and program at Whittier Christian, because they're taking the Yorba Linda approach of playing some structured, disciplined football in Division 14. You think the Herald's gonna win the CIF title in their first year under Coach Marquez?
I'm gonna go with Lynwood in this game, and that is they've got a couple really close wins in the playoffs, and that I think that's going to help them out some. Different guys making big plays for Lynnwood. Last week was a freshman defensive back, Lucio Camacho, makes his interception at the end of the game and a comeback win over Bassett. Got a good quarterback receiver combination, Maximilian Archiaga and the wide receiver Johan Alcanina. They've played really well. If they can throw the ball like that, that might give Whittier Christian some problems. But then Whittier Christian, the running back Jake Martinez, to get him going, control the clock, control the ball. That could do it for the Heralds. But I'm going with Lynnwood in a close one.
Okay, so I'll just play the role of the total OC homer. Hey, I am OCVarsity guy on Twitter, so hey, I am picking the Heralds. I like them at home at Whittier College.
Yep.
Sadly, the Poets are no longer playing collegiate football. That's a sad deal. But I think Whittier Christian is, really trying to, I think they found something with Coach Marquez right now. And having the great mentorship of Jeff Bailey, and they have another assistant at, a Yorba Linda guy at Whittier Christian. So I'm going to pick the Herald. So right now, I'm 5 for 5 with Orange County, and we got 3 games on Saturday. What do you got, Friar?
Whittier Christian is 6-2 at Whittier College this year.
Okay, nice stat.
They like that spot.
That's a nice stat. That's a nice stat. All right, so Saturday, this is a game you're going to be covering, Friar, for the OC Register. You got Laguna. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to be covering this game. Laguna Hills, the number 14 seed. I think they're the highest seed of any of the Orange County teams that make it to the finals in their respective division. This is Division 7, 12-1 Hawks going out to Golden Valley in the Santa Clarita area. And that's a Golden Valley team that is from the Tough Foothill League. That's always a very respected league. There's some pretty large schools. But, hey, Laguna Hills is, played some impressive ball down the stretch, had that nice victory over Western in the semifinals. They got Troy Lieber. What do you think about this game?
I'm going with Laguna Hills in this game. I know I picked Western to beat them in the semis.
Right.
But, man, Troy Lieber, jeepers, 2,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 playoff touchdowns for Troy Lieber, who I asked him his brother Mitch was a great player at Laguna Hills. I asked Mitch, I asked Troy, I go, who's faster, you or your brother? I am. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Settle
So I
that.
kind of like that, but I like the way they're winning their football games lately. Golden Valley, pretty good, pretty good. They got a senior linebacker named Malachi Beecham. They got to watch out for that guy. He's averaging 11 tackles a game, gets in your backfield. Got to make sure you know where that guy is. He's a disruptive dude, but I like Laguna Hills.
Okay. I'm also picking the Hawks, and I picked them last week, and they have a little bit of feel of destiny as well.
Mm.
Coach Lester, you know, overcoming brain tumor to and a couple brain surgeries to with that to get coaching back on the sidelines this year. Senior laden team. All right, two more games to go. On Friday night. Now this is a Saturday night. Excuse me. This is the game that you're going to be covering. That's going to be Northwood, your Pacific Coast League champion, Timberwolves. I think they're the number 4 seed in Division 8, taking on Lakewood, who's the number 5 seed. No, I think I might be wrong on Northwood. They might be the 11th seed. I can't read my writing right now. But Northwood, Lakewood, very interesting storyline here because you have Lakewood coach Justin Atupo, who was at one time briefly the coach of Northwood. This happened after the COVID season in the spring of 2029. Justin was briefly the coach at Timberwolves. They were coming off their COVID shortened year. They had an interim coach. They were very excited to get Justin, but he left because he got offered the job at his alma mater. He's a very distinguished player at Lakewood. He played at Notre Dame, so he went back. But what happened to the Timberwolves? They got J.C. Clark from the defensive coordinator position. They started running the ball so well with Adam Harper, who's a 2,000-yard rusher himself. And Here we go. Northwood, the way it all circles back here in the playoffs. Northwood taking on host Lakewood Lancers and their former brief coach. We'll be interested to see if that's a motivating factor. I think both sides seem to handle that breakup very well. But there is an interesting backstory with that. And both coaches and programs have done a great job.
I'm going with Lakewood in this game, and I'll tell you why. Sort of like a horse racing thing, right? We've got Northwood stepping up big in class from Division 11 to 8. Guys are a little bit bigger and a little bit faster up in Division 8. And then Lakewood is, used to be a Division 2 team, et cetera, not too long ago. They come out of a pretty good league, the Moore League, good football, Long Beach Poly, all those guys over there. Northwood, I love Adam Harper, man. That guy's going to carry 25 whatever times a game. He averages almost 180 yards a game. Really, really good. At Northwood, and JC's a really good coach, and those guys play their lights out for Coach Clark. Love that guy. He's a great dude, too. But I like Lakewood in this game. I just think because they may be a little bit bigger and a little bit faster on the defensive side of the football than Northwood.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pick Northwood because they also, they're usually, you're used to being the smaller team. I don't think they have any 250-pound linemen really running around at Northwood. So they fly to the ball and they scheme it up. They got a good player and they got their star player in Adam Harper, and they are winning these kind of games. And I also like, JC Clark's kind of a Long Beach guy in a lot of ways. He's coached in that neck of the woods before he came into Irvine. So I think he knows exactly what he's getting into and going to be pretty comfortable taking his team into Lakewood on Saturday night.
Yep.
Hey, so last game is Division 9. Yep, we are busy this championship week, Mr. Fryer. You have Laguna Beach. They're also hitting the road, going to Diamond Bar. So Laguna Beach, 10-3, taking on 12-1 Diamond Bar. Laguna Beach is the number 8 seed in Division 9. Diamond Bar, I believe, is the 5th seed. And I don't know. I also think the Breakers can win this one. I think it's a winnable game. It's looking pretty tough. I think the Cal Preps projection has Diamond Bar up by about 7 points favorite. But I think the Breakers are a young, up and coming team. And speaking of big wins for them, they've beaten Northwood the past 2 seasons. We just talked about Northwood. So what do you think about this game, Mr. Fryer?
Well, I really, a guy to keep an eye on, especially if you're a guy who's recruiting for colleges, is this They're going to be sophomore quarterback Jackson Collick, who's 6'4" and has just had a great second half. He's thrown a bunch of touchdowns too in the playoffs, like 9 or something like that. Pretty good. But I think Diamond Bar's defense is going to be really tough to throw against, and they also are very productive offense. So, I think that Diamond Bar is going to get the win in this one.
Okay, much respect to your objectivity here, Mr. Fryer, picking up against some OC teams. I picking all OC teams to go 8 for 8. I'm picking Laguna Beach. I really like Ryder Swanson is a speaking of recruits at Laguna Beach, junior tight end DN, might be the best tight end in Orange County, is a terror on the defensive end. But I think Coach Shanahan's got something kind of special brewing down there, and I think they're going to be one of the small schools to continue to watch in Orange County. They've been stepping up and trying to. They're in the finals for the first time, the Breakers, since 1962. So big accomplishment for Laguna Beach and all these Orange County teams. 8 teams in the finals, man. It has been one heck of a fall season for us, Mr. Fryer, and all the Orange County fans.
Yeah, it's terrific, and it's probably not over, for anybody, because if you win a section championship, you're playing the next week in the regional football games, and then maybe if you win there, you go on to a state final too. Whoever wins that Division I game, Bosco, Mater Dei, they automatically fly up into the open division game. So the Division I game, whatever they call it at the state bowl thing. I'm not all that interested in state football that much. I think it's too many games for the young people. If you're worried about concussions, you might want to reduce the number of concussion possibilities and add to them, So I don't really like state football that much, but people say the kids like it. Kids also like to text and drive. I don't think that makes it a good idea.
I hear you, and I respect that, and certainly the safety is should be paramount, and I like some of the progression on some of the rules and less practicing. And we are talking about just a few teams that are still alive. Only 8 teams are playing. Everybody else hopefully is, either getting their rest as a player. They move on to basketball, wrestling, whatever it is, soccer, and or getting ready for baseball. So I am a fan of the regionals, and I know that some of those games will be at Saddleback College again this year, coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll see how many teams progress, but either way, congrats to all the teams that have gotten this far and the players. And I know this is a big weekend for these teams, and they've been working really hard. So it's been great chatting with you, and we'll see how many we get right, Mr. Fryer.
Yeah. I hope you're right. It'd be kind of fun to see all these OC guys go all the way. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be some Orange County people holding up plaques, celebrating, dumping Gatorade on Dan Albano for picking them to win. Be great.
Yep, there'll be there could be some definitely. These are exciting times of the year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at
I'm at the Northwood game, and if Northwood wins, they all know I picked them to lose. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, those in for it. Hey, those Timberwolves guys are pretty good. I'm sure they'll be.
I don't want Adam Harper running at me full speed, man. There's no way. That guy will put me in the hospital.
Well, hey, be sure to follow all our coverage this week as we get ready for the finals here on OCVarsity. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys next week.